Hello, students. Today is Tuesday, November 17th, 2020, and this is Miss Phillips. Thank you for joining me for reading workshop lesson for today. The materials you will need for this lesson are your pencil, your reading journal, and your My Book. If you don't have these things, go ahead and press pause to collect them and then come back to join me. Okay, now that you have your materials, let's go over our objectives. I will review the asking and answering questions strategy. We will generate questions about the text to deepen our understanding and gain information. And then you will use ask and answer questions reading strategy throughout the reading process to gain a deeper understanding. Yesterday, we read Potatoes on Rooftops, and you practiced asking and answering questions before, during, and after reading in order to gain a deeper understanding. Today, I want to model how to ask and answer questions as I read Potatoes on Rooftops more with you. As I read the beginning of the text, I will ask and answer questions to make sure I understand what the author is trying to explain. First, what do I know about urban landscapes? I know that cities usually have a lot of tall buildings, but there aren't a lot of trees or big gardens. I'm wondering, why is the author talking about changing an urban landscape? I think the author wants us to think about how gardens can change the way a city looks. But I want to go ahead and keep reading to find out if I'm right, or to find out if I learned something new. Follow along as I read page 316. Ye Old Victory Garden. During World War I, 1914 to 1918, cities around the world began running out of food. Thousands of farmers served in the army instead of tilling their fields. Fertile ground was destroyed by combat and bombs. International waters became very dangerous for ships carrying food. In 1917, a new organization in the United States called the National War Garden Commission decided the solution was to grow food on a small scale closer to home. It encouraged citizens to use all available growing spaces and taught people how to can and preserve food. Soon after, the U.S. Department of Agriculture began its own campaign to get people growing. As a result, the number of garden plots rose from 3.5 million in 1917 to more than 5 million in 1918. Another victory for gardens. During World War II, 1939 to 45, the War Food Administration in the United States created the National Victory Garden Program. Its goal was to recreate the huge success of the gardening movement during the previous war. This time, the results were even more astounding. The USDA estimated that more than 20 million plots were planted during the war. By growing fruits and vegetables, people felt that they were contributing to the war effort. They were ensuring the country and its soldiers had enough to eat and freeing up resources needed in wartime. For example, metals and other materials normally used in food production could be put to military use instead. Railroad cars carried less food, allowing them to carry more munitions. What what were the effects? Sorry guys. What were the effects of the victory gardens? Were they successful? Well, victory gardens helped prevent food shortages during wartime, and many people learned how to can and preserve food. Victory gardeners were successful because millions of plots of land were planted and resources were freed up that could be put to military use. Do you notice how I answered these questions with evidence from the text to support my ideas? All of this information was found in the text we just read. I'm going to continue reading on page 317. In the United States, the Fenway Victory Gardens of Boston and the Dowling Community Garden of Minneapolis are the last remaining victory gardens from the wars. Look at some of these posters. Groundwork for Victory, Grow More in 44. War Gardens over the top. the seeds of victory, the fruits of peace. Help harvest war crops, fill it. Will you have a part in victory? Plant a victory garden. Our food is fighting. What is the main message of these 3 posters? Well, I can infer that each one of these posters is trying to persuade people to garden to help the war. The main message is that people should help the war effort by helping to grow harvest crops. You can tell by the words used in the pictures in these posters. How do certain phrases on the posters try to convince people to listen to this message? What do you think? Pause the video now and answer this question. Remember to use text support evidence. Then come back and press play. Okay, are you back? Did you find the answer? Let's see if you got it correct. Phrases like grow more, here, fruits of peace, and fill it show how important it is for people to take part in victory gardens. Now it's going to be your turn. I want you to remember, though, that readers ask questions before, after, and during reading to help them understand the content that they are reading, and when they are curious about something, want to make a prediction, want to clarify something, or want to think more deeply about a topic. You are going to read pages 318 through 328 in your My Book, and then complete the Check for Understanding Potatoes on Rooftops Google form that is linked in the framework and also in Google Classroom. Remember today and every day that when you read, good readers take the time to stop and ask questions and think, did I get the answer? Does the question require more research, or can I infer the answer based on text evidence? Have a great day learning and enjoy your reading.